Hello, thank you for joining us for the Facebook Live today. We are here at Stratco Cross on this lovely sunny Saturday, which is perfect.
Finally, the sun's out.
Finally
the sun's out.
We had sun, Wednesday and Thursday. Friday wasn't great, but today it's back. It's not as warm, but we'll take it.
Yeah, so we've got out into the garden centre finally.
Yeah, we're actually here, which is good. We're not in a store. So thanks for joining. The October garden newsletter was sent on Thursday afternoon. So if you are one of our garden club members, you would have received that with some special offers. We had some plants in there, and obviously the link to this Facebook Live as well as the blog that went out. So today we're just going to take you through what was in the blog as we always do.
Yep.
But yeah, it's lovely to be here on a Saturday. Something a little bit different.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, haven't we?
Yeah,
about sort of getting the best viewers.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd try this Saturday.
And if anyone, if you have feedback, we're happy to take it.
Absolutely.
If you think that the time we do it Thursday 5 o'clock or Thursday midday doesn't work and Saturday's better, we'll do it on Saturday.
Yeah, we're all about
what the people want.
Absolutely.
We do it like that.
All right, let's see what we've got today.
So today we are going to be talking about, obviously spring has sprung. We're in October now.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Daylight savings is here. I'm so very happy about
Happiness
that.
for that, yeah.
Mind you, it's a little bit tricky because I'll get, I don't know about you get home and you think it's going to be 6 o'clock, but then all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock and it's still sunny and you realise you haven't done any of the stuff you need to do the last 2 hours.
And we've still got to go, to get longer days.
And you're like, how am I going to get into bed tonight? I have so much stuff to do before I actually get there. But it catches me. It's already caught me a couple times. It's thrilling content for anyone at home. So yeah, sunny days, longer days. There's a bit of delayed availability at the moment. I'm assuming that's all because of the weather. They've had one of our plants, or I can select.
Well, when you think about it, we buy now from not only South Australian suppliers, but Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland suppliers. And no matter where you look at the moment, the weather's been terrible. So, like I said, we copped it this week. Melbourne's been cooler and wetter than it would normally be for the beginning of spring. And I'm hearing from sort of a lot of our Queensland and New South Wales suppliers that they've just got nothing but rain at the moment. There's flooding happening in New South Wales again, things like that. So all of those sort of environmental factors are definitely sort of holding up production of plants. So that has an impact on what we can and can't get.
Yeah, which is, I think it's also almost been good. I was having a chat with someone yesterday about how, I think a lot of the time it's quite easy to forget about what's happening in the rest of Australia. You just focus on your own state.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're in SA and everything in the other states impacts what happens in our state. In regards to the plants and the availability.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got great local suppliers that have sort of battled through. And we say that there's problems in terms of getting stock. I think to clarify that, there's definitely problems getting certain lines that would normally be available, but the stock that we can get is sort of in abundance. There's plenty of things like sourbeers and petunias, all that coffee stuff that is available, and they're pushing it through. I guess when we look at sort of what we would normally be getting from Queensland, New South Wales, it's a lot more indoor type stock.
Yeah.
Smaller plants once again have started to become available. It's probably the more advanced stock that we've been getting that's been held up. But in this catalogue that we've got out at the moment, we've got some awesome 300ml bangalow palms advertised, and they're a really good size. So once again, it's really more about exactly what the customer's looking for as to if we can or can't get it.
Yeah. And we're trying to make up for the stock we haven't got yet. We're trying to make up for that in other areas, like you said, having an abundance of stock.
Well,
it's not like we're not fully stocked.
Well, that's right. We've spent the last 2 weeks sourcing some of the stuff that's been harder to find.
Yeah.
At the moment, we've had a massive week in terms of buying stock in, and that'll flow on to next week.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're doing our very best to make sure that there isn't an empty spot in the garden centres.
Which is awesome. Good effort. Props to you. And then on top of that, a few of the customers are going to St. Mary's in South Australia, just talking about seasons like spots and roses, so we'll go through that.
Yep.
And then just feeding the garden, which is another thing that we really pressed on in September, making sure the garden's going to be ready once that movement is coming through, and weeding. You'd be glad to know, last weekend I did 3 hours of weeding.
Really?
well, with my parents' encouragement,
Okay.
I helped with the weeding.
Right. We should get some photos, put them on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe not.
I had to take all. I'm not even going to talk about the beauty side of it because then I'm just going to see like I don't like being outside, but I love being outside. I just love not.
Oh, you know what?
Like
When I weed, I don't wear gloves. I feel like you sort of got to be able to feel what you're doing to get them out properly.
Some of them were so big. They're like trees.
Tell you what, this year, like, I mean, we digress. We're supposed to be talking about gardeners, but the one thing I've noticed this year is that the amount of people that's growing in lawns. Like, even at my place, I noticed it just last week. I spent the weekend feeding and weeding the lawns. So there you go.
Good mind for that.
Bindi growing through lawns is just crazy this year. And then this is a South Australian thing, I guess, but I've never seen it this bad. And it seems like over the last couple of years, we've had patches of certain types of things that have cropped up almost from nowhere. So, it looks like this year it'll be a Bindi type year.
Well, and we did the wrong thing by letting them feed them too long. So the actual poisoning of the block wasn't that much. Like, it was harder to get everything out because we hadn't been there a while. Anyway, all right, so get into it. So obviously the soil's getting warmer. We've got some more vegetable season, so we're getting really close. I think we're a little bit low on vegetables. Like we've got I got some capsicums and tomatoes here, which we spoke about in the blog about maybe holding off a little bit until there's more frequent weather.
And I think that's, I guess, sort of the advice that's being given by people early in the piece that while the soil's been so cold, I mean, stock's available. I mean, we've been selling so many punts of capsicums so far this year. It's been crazy. So there are people that want to get in early still, but I guess in general, if you don't have the ability to protect vegetables from the cold nights, it could almost be like, 2 steps forward, 1 step back with planting. You think you're getting in early and you're going to have the advantage, but you might find that 6 steps back cold. So I guess the jury's out in terms of the exact way to do it. Every garden's going to be different. Every garden is going to be different. But no, I would think that by now, I mean, normally by October long weekend, stock levels are pretty standard. So you should be able to find most things here after.
And then you really hope we're about 2 weeks away from having more frequent like sort of just come conversely. I also, while I say that, I do feel for everyone in New South Wales and Queensland because I know it's really not going well up there at the moment.
And that's
but for SA, like you'd think by the time, because we're lower and everything sort of hits, and then it's us last minute.
I guess the hard part for us to sort of push across to customers is that generally, like the South Australian summers, usually hot and dry, like 40, 45 degrees can creep in. And with them announcing that the La Nina effect is going to happen for a third year in a row, that really should buoy people with their confidence in planting. I mean, a cooler than average summer for South Australia with increased humidity means plants will go crazy growing. So even with this late start to the season, there's no reason to get into December and all of a sudden think, I'm not going to plant because it's going to get too hot. I mean, of all the years, we can't sort of bank on getting a fourth one next year. So if people want to get in and get gardens established, they shouldn't be afraid of even buying more advanced stuff this year and getting it in. I would think that, we'll probably still get, the odd day where it's quite hot. But that's not going to be the norm this year, and plants will just love it. So great year for establishing gardens.
Yeah, that's great. The temperature then just reminds me about the trip we talk about every summer episode that we do. But we'll wait till summer for that.
We'll bring that
I'm not doing that again now. And then, obviously, we did touch on delayed availability. We're about 4 weeks or so away, maybe, for some of those indoor plants that stock from Queensland, some of the smaller, sort of options.
It's hard to say. I mean, like I say, the last week or two, we've seen a huge increase in availability of some plants. So there's definitely a selection of indoors. But to say that we've got the full range, you'd like to think by the end of October we'd be at that point. But by no means are any of the stores empty, that's for sure.
No, that is very true. And then black spots on roses. Obviously, like I mentioned at the start, a couple of customers have come into our St. Mary's store and got decreased spouts. The findings of black spots on roses at their property the first steps, I imagine, is just use growth spray for that.
Yeah, it's one of those unavoidable things. If you start to see these days, but still get the moisture around in the evenings, black spots just going to happen.
Yeah, okay.
There's probably not a way to really avoid it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, something a rose spray will certainly help to try and prevent it or to stop it in its tracks.
Yeah.
Sometimes even an oil spray like a pest oil or botanic oil will just help to sort of cover the leaf and offer a bit more protection from but black spots are very temporary sort of thing. The minute that sort of the moisture in the evening time starts to disappear, so will
okay. So it's just the cold evenings that are making it.
Damp evenings, really.
The damp.
Yeah, damp.
Evenings.
So when there's increased humidity, especially at night time, any moisture sort of sitting around foliage. Black spots, one of the things. Powdery mildew is probably another one that gets talked about, and usually by about mid-October we're starting to say that mildews, powdery mildews and downy mildews and such have normally disappeared. But once again, it's going to be a slightly different weather pattern this year, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, okay. And then the other thing we spoke about was feeding the garden. So obviously we really touched. If you want more on that, just go back to the September garden live we did. We spoke about heaps then. So pretty much everything to feed. If you haven't already, now's the time.
Well, yeah, you really haven't missed anything. I mean, like Chris touched on, with the season almost being back 4 weeks, the colder soil really means that if you haven't had the opportunity to feed, you haven't really missed out. So, like I say, I mean, probably calling into store and speaking to one of the garden team will sort of give you a more accurate idea on what you should be using for your garden and your plants. But in general, there's plenty of good organic fertilizers that you can get in early. Dig it through your soil. If you haven't planted yet, turn something through so that when you do plant, sort of there's enough nutrients there to get started.
And then the last thing we talked about was hydrangeas. I think everyone, some of the stock that clears every year,
Absolutely.
must be. We're still waiting on those to come in. But I think the point sort of made was that once they're in, just keep an eye out. We'll try and probably share
and
communication.
Same sort of thing. I mean, normally by about October, we start to see the white ones come in early and then the coloured ones come in because they're still colouring them until about November. But in terms of jumping in early this year and grabbing them, you do then face the chance of getting powdery mildew on hydrangeas, which is a pretty common problem early in the season. So to have them available later in the month or early next month is probably perfect for customers to avoid those problems. At the wholesale nursery, obviously, they've got the ability to continue to spray them and look after them and make sure that they come into our stores looking amazing. Once again, it'll just be about the availability. Over the last couple of years, I guess there's been less nurseries growing hydrangeas. We jumped onto one last year that was doing some amazing stock, and we contacted them again this year to try and make sure that we can secure our stock for the year. So there'll definitely be plenty of hydrangea for October.
I think I might see if I can keep them alive. They won't be indoor plants.
We'll have a blog, an Annabelle blog, following
the progress of how I still don't know how the ones in my room are alive. I bought the indoor foliage spray.
Oh yeah.
I use that maybe once a month.
We're not talking hydrangeas now.
No.
Just indoor plants.
No, I've got a lily. I want a lily. Anyway. Maybe I could go through everything I do, and then you could highlight what's wrong about it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Be good content.
Maybe. That's something.
It probably hurt me.
We'll get some feedback. See what the customers want to do.
Yeah, if you'd like to see everything I do with my plants at home, which isn't much, I tell you, and then Phil can tell me how I could be doing it so much better, because there's going to be people watching that are like me. I want to be good at it. I want to put time into it. I don't.
Well, I think for Stratco, I mean, that's part of the enjoyable process that we've got. I mean, we've worked pretty hard to get the best team that we can get in each store, and we just love working with people. I mean, to improve gardeners and to follow that progress. I mean, that's rewarding in itself. So.
To help someone become self-sufficient in their own garden.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get plenty of feedback where you've taken someone that's been having problems and walked them through the process, and at the end of it, the results are fantastic. And that's, I guess, what draws those loyal customers that keep coming back. So, I mean, we can sort of work on your indoor plants.
Maybe we can turn that into a thing. We'll see.
See.
I have 4 2 of the same.
We can do a side by
And
side.
my room is quite dark and gets cold. It's in the brick of anyway. I'll go through the details of the blog without giving my address, of course. Would be ideal. Thank you for joining us this Saturday. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully it's sunny, a little bit sunny where you are, so you can enjoy some time spent outside. And we'll see you next time before we blow away.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.